These yellow Carson beans are definitely more prolific than the purple ones. I'm getting like double, triple the amount of yellow ones as I am purple ones. But the purple ones are still very fun. I mean, these yellow ones literally are just by the handful. You can just like grab 4 of them at a time. Absolutely gorgeous. The sweet potatoes are looking really great. You just never know how these will be until you actually dig into them, but they're looking good. As for the peppers, I put them in cages because they were getting so big that they were wanting to fall over. And I always have the problem, like in the fall, they just want to fall over when they're like really loaded down with fruit. These are looking awesome. You can see there's nice hanging peppers. Over here are my butternuts, and I'm happy to say that these are looking really awesome. You can see here there's like lots of fruit hanging on. So even if these do end up dying before their time, I really feel like we're gonna get a good harvest of butternuts off of these. I've been bringing tape out and trying to tape the eggs. Like here you can see our eggs. I just bring tape out and push the sticky side against the eggs and it pulls them off without ruining the leaf. It's really time consuming and I haven't nearly gotten them all, but I keep telling myself that at least I'm getting some. At least I'm gonna make so that the problem isn't as bad. So as you guys can see, my cucumbers died. It's not a complete loss. I was able to get some cucumbers off of them. I did can a couple quarts of pickles. First, I washed the cucumbers. Then I cut them into spears. I don't normally peel them unless they happen to get extra big. The extra big ones have thicker skin that's not so enjoyable. I pack the spears tightly into jars. Then pour hot brine over them. I will put a link for the brine recipe that I use in the description below. I put the lids on the jars and hot water bath them for 10 minutes. But I think I'm just gonna pull these out and make space for something more productive and more beautiful because honestly, it's really discouraging to come out here and look at these. I'm doing lots of zucchini relish this year. And once I'm done with relish, I'm going to start trading my mom zucchinis for cucumbers. I don't know why, but these things always just amaze me. Something about the shape is so cool. And they literally just taste like regular yellow zucchini or black zucchini. I make zucchini brownies with them, zucchini relish, and for some reason they're just much hardier than like the normal long zucchini. This is a new variety of summer squash that I'm trying this year. It's called Sunstripe. I'm actually really impressed so far. It's lasted as long as my patty pan squash has. My cat keeps coming out here and sitting in my raised beds under the foliage of my plants, smashing carrots down. It's ticking me right off.
Actually, that carrot there might have been my fault. I didn't realize there was carrots in here.
You horrible person. Today I have a really big preserving day. I'm going to be pressure canning green beans. I'm going to be canning zucchini relish, which can just be done in a simple water bath method. And I'm also going to be canning some pickles. For more specialty items like zucchini relish, I try to only can them like every 2 or every 3 years. I just do like a really big batch. Most of my condiments I can do like that, like ketchup, zucchini relish, things like that. Barbecue sauce and marinara, we use enough of those that I have to do those every year. But zucchini relish, I for sure just try to do a huge batch. This batch here, I'm doing 60 cups of shredded zucchini for both of them. And I'm adding salt, and I'm gonna let these sit to let the water drain off of them. One thing that you won't hear me say very often is the USDA website says this. I am more of the kind of person that likes to follow a mentor. So I will call my mom and ask her questions, and if my mom can't answer my questions, she'll call someone that she knows that's been canning all their lives and actually knows from tested experience. Canning has become this big, scary thing for a lot of people, I feel. For me, it never There was never fear attached to canning for me, just simply because I grew up with my mom canning. I grew up eating canned food. So before you go and get all overwhelmed with all of the little isms and things that you have to do with canning, talk to somebody who's done it for a long time, and maybe that will simplify things and take a lot of the fear out of it for you. I have this zucchini drained and rinsed from all the salt that I put in it, and it shrank down to where it could fit in this big kettle. This is a double recipe of my zucchini relish, so now I'm going to add the brine and cook it and can it up. I'm on my way to the potato patch right now. It has been raining lately and the plants are dead, so I know that they're ready to be dug. I'm just not sure if the soil is going to be dry enough to dig them. You really want to dig your potatoes when the soil is dry so that the dirt isn't all caked to your potatoes, because I personally don't like to spray them off and wash them before putting them in my root cellar. I'm just going to call that good.
Try digging some up and see if the dirt sticks to it. That's about the best.
I see one.
Look at them.
Yeah, this is fine, I think.
Nice potato.
I mean, it's maybe a little wetter than I would want it to be, but once these are dry, the dirt will just brush right off when I put them in the root cellar. So I think
it's at least not caking to it.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I've heard it said that potatoes bruise as easily as an apple. So I try to be very careful when I put these into the crates. Today, I think we're probably just going to dig the Yukon Gold, because these you can see are super, super dead. And the red Pontiac over there are still quite alive. Like here you can see this red one has lots of babies on it still. And I'm gonna guess if I would have left this in, some of these would have gotten bigger. Digging potatoes is honestly one of my favorite garden activities. It's like digging for gold or something. And you never know what's gonna come up next.
I see one.
Oh, here's a big, huge one.
Yep, I see it too, Eden. I think these are like the nicest potatoes that we've ever grown. They're big,
sure.
And they're not like split or like weird like they have been sometimes either. What's great about getting nice big potatoes is that the bigger the potato, the better it'll store in our cold cellar.
Yes.
So we want them as big as possible, and also be as careful as possible, because if you hit a potato and cut into it, it's not gonna store well either. Yeah. These two potatoes came off the same plant. So this one right here, I nicked just a little bit with the pitchfork and it just got the skin off. That is totally fine. That'll heal over. That's just kind of like, if you get a little scratch, it'll heal over really easily. If you actually cut into it really hard,
sorry.
That's what's going to make so it's not gonna store well.
I think I stepped right in front of you.
You did.
I'm sorry. We will not die this winter.
At least not of starvation.
Not of
from
starvation.
Potatoes. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots is what we really like to focus on growing a lot of, because they are super nutritious. Root vegetables are very, very high in minerals. And it's also something that we don't have to preserve. This requires no canning, no freezing. We do set these out to cure for a little bit, but besides that, once they're cured, they can go in the root cellar and they're done. And good to eat all winter long. Starting to get into some really wet soil here. The dirt is starting to really stick to the potatoes, so I think we're gonna stop for now. We'll have to get back to it probably tomorrow. It's not supposed to rain for a little bit, but those are looking really, really good. That's a lot of potatoes for just half a row.
We're gonna get these potatoes taken down to the cold cellar and set out so that they can cure. But first, let's see what else Michelle is making with all that we're harvesting from the garden.
During strawberry season, I decided to try making vinegar with my strawberry scraps. I saw it on Instagram somewhere. I would definitely say that you guys should do your own research on this one. I'm not a pro at this. This was just an experiment. Basically, it get strawberry tops, sugar and water, and you leave it set in a cabinet for like 30 days. You wanna like burp it every now and then so that the jar doesn't explode and stuff. I'm not either gonna be using these for canning or anything because I don't know what the exact acidity of it is. I'm just gonna be using these for like salad dressings and stuff. If I'm honest, my kids don't love zucchini. But there is one thing that they really, really love that I make out of zucchini. Actually, two things. They really love zucchini relish, and they also really love zucchini brownies. So I'm going to make a triple batch of zucchini brownies, stick them in the freezer. We go on lots of adventures and stuff, and this is a really good way to not have to buy like lar bars or something like that. I struggled for a long time finding a zucchini brownie that we really loved. These zucchini brownies are cakey yet very fudgy. So definitely try these. And there's like literally a whole zucchini in one pan of brownies, which is pretty crazy. There's 3 cups of shredded zucchini in a 9x13 brownies.
So real quick, I don't know if you noticed, but earlier in the video, Michelle was using a hand crank slicer for the zucchini, and it kept coming loose from the table, and it was a lot of work. It was really slow, so I, her loving husband, got her an electric food processor, and it really did help her out a lot. It went so much faster for her. So the one I got is a GE, and it seems to be a really good one. And I'll drop a link for it so it's easy for you to find.
So we need to get those potatoes laid out so that they can cure, so that they can be put in bins and store all winter long. I still don't have our root cellar completely done. I want to have shelves built in here, but what I want to do is get some shelving like this, the wire shelving that's coated, so that it's easy to clean and has good airflow. But those kind of shelves are really expensive, so I still haven't got it done. But for now, I'm going to use these few shelves that we have and stack them up on crates so that we can lay the potatoes out. Okay, there you go. Potato curing shelves. That is a lot of potatoes, and from a very small portion of our garden. That is super encouraging and super exciting. Last year we didn't do so great with the potatoes.
Potatoes this year are slightly underwhelming.
So some of these are a little bit muddy. We got into some little more wet part of the garden, but once they're dry, we'll be able to just rub the dirt off. Pretty much what you want to do here is just lay them out, not piled on top of each other, just so that there's airflow all around them, so that they can basically dry out for about a week or so. These baby potatoes here will not last very long in storage, so we're just going to take these upstairs, and Michelle will be using them right away for our meals. And then the bigger ones will stay down here, and we'll start using out of them, but hopefully they'll last us all winter long.
Because we're more than farmers.